The day I began starting to take music seriously as content and as a creator of it, I just started feeling like everything was so insanely condescending coming from other people. It was like, oh, you're gonna do music? That's so cute. That's so like you. And okay, I've had some questionable friends and I've made some questionable choices before. But I think I can tell when someone's not being fully genuine to me. I think I'm just one of the thousands and millions of people who have gone through the same experience. Whether it was your parents or your family or your friends or whoever not taking you seriously for trying to pursue something like music. I'm here today to tell you what I learned from that experience. I think we can learn from every single experience. And if it was put in front of me, I want to share my reasoning, my solution to this mental dilemma of not being able to adjust to the public's expectations of a real job. Because what is a real job? Just like a 9 to 5, getting paid exactly the same amount every month? People are so squared. They are always so in their own box. And also we tend to think that the people who can sing, the people who can play an instrument very well, that they were just born with it, that they're talented. That's why they can do it. No. Everything you learn. I learned to sing from scratch. I learned to play the guitar from scratch. I had to learn how to record from scratch. I had to learn everything from scratch. Even recording the stupid videos, I do. If you see me in the beginning, I was setting up everything myself. I was exposing myself, completely unknowing of what could happen. And when I did that, there are some things that no one teaches. And these people, like for example, I don't know, you may look up to, Jimi Hendrix. You look up to Jimi Hendrix. And so does, for example, your mom. You say, Mom, I want to be just like Jimi Hendrix and shit. And she's like, son, when are you gonna get a real job and stop it with this music? Why don't you go work a corporate job? Why don't you find a career that you're really into? And while this comes from a caring viewpoint sometimes, it's also such a misconception that you cannot make a living out of music. Entertainment may be trickier than a regular job, and sometimes you do have to get creative when it comes to how you market yourself and all of that. Sometimes you end up working a million jobs in one. You have to market yourself, you need to do this and that. But it's something that is possible. People have done it before a million times. Now, why can't you do it? This is CORNEA-SAL, and today I want to talk to you. The notion that music is a waste of time. Talking about basics, the basic jobs, what are they? They're a cop, they're a doctor, they're this and that and that. So surprisingly, for example, here in Argentina, those jobs like cop, doctor, lawyer, the basic jobs, they're not paid very well. But people will still urge you to choose one of them or something similar. Even office jobs are not paid that well if you're on a basic administrative level. It's a very small amount of the population that actually earns good money. So it's not really about the money, because if it were about the money, they would tell you to, go sell cryptocurrency on Instagram. It's about this old notion of something that is serious. Then again, there's some truth to the fact that music and entertainment is harder to get into and actually earn a stable income from. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. The thing is that sometimes there's something that really calls you and that you feel is your reason. And when you find this thing, if it is music, if it is something unconventional, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be this or that has to do with entertainment, and you don't want to do anything else, then why should you be forced to do something else? It's your life after all. And maybe you're willing to take that risk. It's your life. Live it and make your decisions like they're yours, because they are yours. So here, more in the authority aspect, for those of you who are younger like me, your parents hopefully are trying to get you to have a good life. And sometimes this isn't out of ill will. Maybe they're actually trying to tell you, like, hey, maybe this is like very unconventional and difficult. I don't want to see you struggling. But in the end, you can also take responsibility for those choices that you make. You have to take responsibility. You can look up artist stories, like how they began. Actors who started having no money and got lucky in an audition, or musicians who never never thought they were going to make it ever, and they got a streak of luck, or they started growing bigger and bigger. I want you to remove the idea in your head that it's impossible or that you're not good enough, because everyone started that way. When you're a baby, you don't know what a time signature is, you don't know how to use logic, you don't know shit, and we all start at the same point. And then you may see child prodigies that play the drums like crazy, and you may be like, oh my god, it's too late. It's never too late. Why do you think it's too late? I learned to play the guitar like 3 years ago, and I started to sing like a year and a half ago, like maximum. And I think I do it at least decently. In the guitar, I can play basically any rhythm, and if it's something that's really hard, then if I put some real work into it, I can learn to do it. It's all about commitment and staying put to what you want to achieve. You think like right now you grab a guitar, you decide to learn the chords, you decide to learn a song that you like, and you start learning. From here on, in like half a year, you really think you won't have anything? That's the truth. You will have something, and it will be better than what you started with. So that is improvement. That's something you can't expect to be good at something super quick, because that wouldn't make sense. It would be unfair to those people that have been learning 10 years, for example. Now that we got that out of the way, I want to talk about what I've been told about this, about music, whatever. By the way, guys, I'm gonna release new music very soon. Please stay tuned. When I was in high school, I learned everything about metal, and I learned about this kind of like alternative style music, and I fell in love with it. I loved it. Music is what saved me. Music is what drove me. Music is what made me have a purpose in life. That's what I felt was my purpose in life. Talk about music, spread music. That's also why I'm so against gatekeeping in metal. I talk about it a lot, but that's because if it had been gate-kept from me and I never reached it, I have no idea what I would be doing right now. And if someone else can reach that, it's even better. So I started saying like to my then friends, who are some high school friends, and I just briefly mentioned it. I'm honestly, sometimes I can be very private. I don't really like talking what I'm doing, but they would ask me like, hey, what are you up to? And like I would answer, and I would be like, no, I'm actually recording this stuff, like I'm looking into this and making it my career. And I told them that I was going to go to uni to learn more about music. And at first there is a fake positive, there is a kind response, like, oh, interesting. What do you plan to do with that? How do you plan to make a living out of that? And you're like, well, I'll see. I'm learning. I'm checking it out. And at first it's okay, because when someone has a sole opinion, they don't want to be the first to throw the stone. When we're in a group setting together, I realized like they're making fun of me. They were in these careers where like a comp sci or just like engineering in general, and they would be like, oh, shut up, you study music anyway, that's so stupid, what do they even teach you? Like, and at first it's all laughs, it's like, oh, whatever, I don't mind getting ran over a few times, after all, we're friends, like it's just a joke. The thing is that sometimes you continue on and on and on with the joke. It stops becoming a joke and starts becoming annoying. I remember I was blonde at the time, dyed my hair or something. I just wanted to do something different. It wasn't that deep. I just thought it would be good if you go back in my videos, you'll see I'm blonde. And they were like, oh, wow, that's so just like, that's so you. You're so crazy. Actually, you're such a dumb blonde. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And it would just be one thing after the other, and just roasting me for trying to follow something that I wanted instead of going the conventional route. Because it's not like I can't go the conventional route. I have a normal job, but you can also have the space to do something that you like. And then they would just continue running me down. I just couldn't take it anymore, and because of one reason or the other, I seeked a chance to leave the group, and I just left. My explanation was like, sorry, I don't feel like hanging out with you guys anymore, but it's all cool, it's all fine. And I remember I had this one friend who would tell me like, oh my god, we should totally make a rock band, you could be my producer, be for real. And this person, they would never ask me one single question. They would always be like, oh, I miss you, let's hang out. In my head I was like, what do you want me to do? You don't even ask me anything about myself. I tell you what I'm doing, and you brush it off as a joke. So these things, they make you feel this impotence, like, why am I being treated badly for what I want to do? Like, maybe they're right, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. That's when you should stop yourself. You have talent, you have an idea, you're creative, you want to go through with something, do it. Don't fall into a conventional thing just because. Now, if you need an income to do something else like music, you can totally get that. You can get a job to sustain yourself, but don't forget yourself. There's a reason why you chose this. There's a reason why you feel so inclined towards making an unconventional decision, because you love it. You do it with love. And if you draw back and you go do something else that you don't even like or barely like, just because someone else who doesn't know shit about passion told you to, then you're failing yourself. You're failing your truth and you're failing yourself. Your life is yours and you are meant to live it because it's yours. Otherwise, it would be mine, it would be someone else's, but it's your life. And just because it is hard, it doesn't mean that we cannot do hard things. Guys, this is such a dumb example. But like right now, for example, I've been on Instagram ever since I started this channel, like around almost 7 months ago. And all that time, through like the 3rd month to the 7th month, I was stuck on 300 followers. And no one would see my shit ever. It would only be the few people that decided to support me very early on. And they weren't that many. And people weren't watching my videos. They wouldn't reach 1,000 views. Now I'm past that. Right now I have 5,000 followers on Instagram. My reels get viewed instantly. And was it easy? No, it was hard. I have been working on this stuff without even knowing if it was gonna work. And even though it's still early on in my career, I hear about people who have began to know bands because of me, who have started to play the guitar because of me, people that I could inspire to learn more about metal or music or whatever they wanted to do. And that has so much meaning for me. That makes me feel full. That makes me feel so happy because I could share with people. I could share that same feeling that I had been holding on to when I had nothing else to hold on to. That was my saving, and now I can help other people who find it difficult to share their art or to get invested in art because they feel like it's useless, like it's for nothing. And people, art is a way of expressing yourself, of letting your stuff out. You have a lot of inner rage, have a lot of inner sadness, you don't know how to share it. Sometimes art is a way to share it. And with art, other people can be comforted by the thought that someone else felt exactly the same thing as them. That's why I'm telling you all this. Like, I was made fun of by friends, acquaintances, even people on Instagram ran me down like crazy. This was a pretty recent too. And I continue because I want to help people continue and follow their dreams or get invested into something that can be really good for them. I'm not here to have everyone like me and adore me and want to put a statue of me in the center of New York. I'm here to have the people that need to listen to this, listen to it and take it. And even the same people who will curse you out, first of all, they're insecure and they're dispassionate. Because when you know what passion feels like and you see it in another person, you love it and appreciate it. I feel this passion for music. So if I see someone that has a passion for, they have a passion for fishing, they have a passion for fashion, they have a passion for buildings and architecture, I see that and I recognize that same feeling of passion that I have in that person, and I feel connected to them and I want to support them, even if it's something that doesn't have anything to do with me. Say someone has a passion for the jungle. I would never step foot inside a jungle. I think that's disgusting. I hate it. I don't want to know anything about this. But when you see someone passionate about something and you know that feeling, you can appreciate it. And these people who are going to cuss you out because you're following your dreams are the same people who are not following their dreams, who are stuck in this conventional mindset. Either that or they're very, very basic people and who probably listen to Playboy Cardi anyway. And even this guy, Playboy Cardi, I just used him as an example to make fun of someone, but there's probably a huge production behind him. There's sound engineers, there's mixing engineers, there's people who do backing tracks and find samples and do this and that. Those people who are going to make fun of you are the ones listening to music. Because of people like you, they can go ahead and enjoy a live show, even if it's something as basic as like Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, that are super known. What's the difference between you and those people? They are hitting on exactly what they consume. It is something that can work or cannot work, but I just do it anyways. If I have 5,000 subscribers as we speak right now in this video, I know I helped at least one of them. being able to share that feeling, I think, is so much more than just doing something for the sake of being likable to everyone. If you succeed, they will one day come back and be like, oh my god, what are you doing? You're doing so well, congratulations. They're probably gonna go ahead and be like, oh my god, invite me to your show. Can you promo this on your account since we're friends? And when that moment comes, you will say no. This was CORNEA-SAL, and this was a rant. Wow, I've been talking for half an hour. This is actually one of my talents. This video was suggested to me by Alex from my Patreon. Thank you so much, Alex, for always supporting me. And if you guys want to suggest something to me, say us on Instagram, or you can just message me directly on Patreon, and I will be sure to put it as a priority. Just for the price of a mere coffee. I also stream sometimes on Twitch. That's horror games. I'm playing Silent Hill right now. I hope this would help you. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I'll see you